President Cyril Ramaphosa hosting members of BRICS and invited some guests to a gala dinner aimed at strengthening BRICS. Let's cross to our reporter Kenny Mapanga for the latest. Kenny, what was transpiring at your end, perhaps as we await the start of that gala dinner?
Well, good afternoon to you, Liesl, and to the viewers at home. Of course, it's day 2 of the BRICS Summit, which will draw to a close at the Gala Convention Center behind me, where the president will be hosting that banquet event, which will be invited by BRICS leaders and other strategic partners and invited guests that will show up. I'm just going to give you a view of the current scene here at the Gala Convention Center. We are expected to only start at about 6 p.m. this evening, where there'll be a cultural show and then of course a photo opportunity with those 5 member states, and then of course that banquet will be a private event. We understand that the heads of states will be making their way into the banquet dinner through this entrance that has only been made available to some of those world leaders, and then we understand that around the venue some of the invited guests or prestigious guests that will be enjoying this event later today have been assembled at the building at the back. So essentially what we will see here, Liesl, is that some of these important guests and world leaders that have gathered in South Africa for this very important strategic event under the theme BRICS and Africa Partnership for Mutually Accelerated Growth, Sustainable Development and Inclusive Multilateralism will be gathering or moving away rather from those very important discussions that we've seen take place there at the Sandton Convention Center. Of course, we've seen discussions or many ideas coming up there, such as the expansion of BRICS. We've seen them talking about the possibility of a BRICS currency. And we've also seen President Putin make that virtual appearance where his presence was quite felt during day 1 of those events, as well as a possibility or a suggestion rather by the entrepreneurs that have gathered at that summit for a possible BRICS visa that would make it easy for entrepreneurs to move and facilitate that trade between the member states. But tonight is not about all those important discussions that we're seeing take place there at the dialogue. What we're seeing tonight is just those that have gathered for this very important summit, as well as the invited guests will take some time off and enjoy the entertainment leg of the portion of events here through this cultural show. And of course, South Africa is quite a diverse nation in culture and in language. We expect that presentation will be quite something, and the banquet itself will be quite the affair, as all the BRICS global leaders are expected to be there. So as we speak now, not much of activity around this particular venue, Liesl. Of course, you can appreciate that banquet dinner will only start to begin at around 7 p.m. later this evening. But we hope that we'll be able to give you those visuals of that cultural show and at least the photo opportunity before that banquet dinner is closed. And then it will open again with the BRICS Summit tomorrow at 9 a.m. with that dialogue involving a number of interested parties. Over to you in studio.
Kenny, thank you for that setup piece. Kenny Mapanga, just bring us the latest. The head of President Cyril Ramaphosa going to be hosting members of BRICS, having invited some guests to a gala dinner aimed at strengthening BRICS relations amongst looking at some of the ideas and sentiments that had been echoed to date and really also waited from here. Kenny Mapanga bringing us the latest in that build up to that gala dinner taking place later tonight.